Have you ever seen the ocean freeze like glass stretching to the horizon? Sea ice ISNT is frozen water. It's Earth's S-shield that controls climate and ocean life. In this video, we are going to explore how sea ice forms in the world's oceanus, coldest oceans. When you look at frozen seas near the poles, it may seem simple, but the process is complex and full of wonder. On this channel, we explain natural processes calmly and clearly, so you can understand how our planet truly works. Sea ice is more than frozen seawater. It shapes weather patterns, ocean currents, and life itself. Today you will learn how it forms, why it floats, and what happens when it melts too fast. Stay until the end to see why sea ice matters to the entire planet. What is sea ice? Sea ice is frozen ocean water that forms mainly in the Arctic and Antarctic regions. Unlike glaciers or icebergs, which come from land ice, sea ice forms directly from the freezing of salty seawater. It can spread for millions of square kilometers during winter and shrink again in summer. This seasonal rhythm helps regulate the planet's temperature. When sunlight hits bright sea ice, much of it reflects back into space, keeping Earth cool. If you did not know sea ice controls global temperature, comment global mirror. How sea ice forms. When ocean temperatures drop below freezing, small crystals called frosal ice start to form. These crystals gather into a slushy layer called grease ice. As temperatures fall further, the ice thickens into solid sheets known as nilus. Eventually, multiple layers join to create pack ice that can stretch for hundreds of miles. This process usually happens over several weeks as wind, waves, and temperature interact. Nature builds slowly but with purpose. If this process fascinated you, comment frozen ocean. The role of salt. Unlike freshwater ice, sea ice forms from salty water. But here's the secret: salt doesn't freeze easily. As ice forms, most of the salt is pushed out into the surrounding water, making it even saltier and heavier. This saltier water sinks deeper, helping drive ocean circulation. Sea ice is not just frozen water, it is a machine that powers ocean movement. If you didn't know salt affects ice this way, comment salty secret. Types of sea ice. There are two main types of sea ice: first-year ice and multi-year ice. First-year ice forms each winter and melts in summer, while multi-year ice survives for several seasons, becoming thicker and stronger. Multi-year ice can be meters thick and difficult for ships to cross. The mix of both types creates ever-changing polar landscapes. If you find it amazing that ice has ages, comment living ice. Life around sea ice. Even though it seems lifeless, sea ice supports entire ecosystems. Tiny algae grow under and within the ice, feeding krill, small fish, and eventually whales and seals. Polar bears rely on sea ice platforms for hunting, while penguins use them to rest and breed. Sea ice is not empty, it is alive with hidden activity. If this surprised you, comment ice life. Sea ice and climate balance. Sea ice acts like Earth's thermostat. When it grows, it cools the planet by reflecting sunlight. When it melts, the darker ocean absorbs more heat, which accelerates warming and melts even more ice. This feedback loop is one of the most important climate processes on Earth. Losing sea ice changes weather patterns and sea levels worldwide. If you care about this balance, comment protect the ice. It's melting and shrinking sea ice in recent decades. Both the Arctic and Antarctic have shown record low sea ice levels. Warmer oceans and air temperatures cause earlier melting and thinner ice. Scientists are observing faster seasonal changes than ever before. As ice retreats, species that depend on it struggle to survive and global weather becomes more unpredictable. Nature warns through melting silence. If you've seen reports of melting ice, comment Climate Watch. Scientific monitoring. Scientists use satellites and research ships to measure ice thickness, temperature, and movement. Tracking sea ice helps predict weather patterns and understand climate change. Images from space show how the white caps of the poles breathe, with the seasons expanding and shrinking each year. Observation helps us protect what still remains. If you believe science can make a difference, comment observe nature. Sea ice is more than frozen seawater. It is a living system that reflects sunlight, drives ocean currents, and supports life. When it melts too quickly, it affects every corner of the Earth. Understanding sea ice means understanding balance itself. If this video helped you understand sea ice formation, like and subscribe for more calm explanations of nature's hidden systems. Comment which polar process you want next, and share this with someone who loves the Arctic or Antarctic. Here we don't just watch the ice, we understand why it exists.